In this demonstration, we will cover the first-time setup of PBXRealtime with a complete installation that includes one account with 2 extensions, a phone number, and a call group. The first thing you'll need to do is open a browser and point it to the IP address of the PBXRealtime server's config menu. The first time you access the system, you will need to create a username and password for the system. The username and password should have at least 8 characters and contain at least 1 uppercase letter and 1 number. After you've created your username and password, click the Submit button. You will be directed back to the login screen, where you will use the username and password you just created to log into PBXRealtime. When you log in for the first time, you will need to register PBXRealtime to get your license key. The free key will support up to 10 extensions and includes multi-tenant service for up to 10 accounts and includes the PRI module. Make sure you complete all the fields, then click the Request License Key button. The license key file will be emailed to the email address you provided. When you receive the email with the license key, copy the attached file to your local hard drive. Then go back to your web browser and click the drop-down box on the top right of your screen where it says Hi, followed by your username. Then choose the Upgrade License option. On the Upgrade screen, click the Choose File button. Then locate the file containing the license key that you copied to your hard drive earlier. Select the file, then click Open. Now click Upload to install the license. Once completed, you will notice the registration section of the screen will disappear, and you will have new menu options on the left side of the screen. Registration is complete. To set up your PBXRealtime server, select Settings, then Company Info on the left side of the screen. The information on this screen is used for support tickets opened by accounts that we will set up later. The technical reply email address is where support tickets will be sent. Complete the form, then click Save. Next, on the left side of the screen, under Settings, click Voicemail Settings. The default settings for voicemail should be sufficient for most installations. These settings are used for any email that would be sent from PBXRealtime, like voicemail messages sent to an end user's email. For the email to work correctly, you will need to make sure the proper MX records and pointer records have been created for the domain used in server mail. If those are not set up correctly, most other email services, including Gmail and Yahoo, will block emails from your PBXRealtime server. If you want to change the content to the email's message body, you can do so with the Email Body section. Notice that there are variables in the email body to identify information about the message. When you're finished editing the voicemail section, click Save. Next, on the left side of the screen under Settings, click Provision Settings. The provision settings are used to configure devices like phones or ATAs to PBXRealtime. For most installations, the master registration server and the provisioning server are going to be the same as the server you're working with. If you also plan to create a failover server, you'll want to enter its IP address in the line Failover Registration Server field. If you don't have a DNS server, Google has an open DNS server at 8.8 8.8.8 and a secondary DNS server at 8.8.4.4. For now, we will leave the fax fields blank. When you're finished with the server settings, click Save. At this point, the server configuration is completed, and we're ready to set up our first account. On the left side of the screen, click on Customers, then Add. Complete the form with the customer's contact information. You'll notice a field under the company information called Link ID. The Link ID will be added to the account code field in the call records for any inbound or outbound calls for this account. The account code field is required by some billing systems. When you have completed your customer's contact information, click the Add Profile button. You'll be automatically logged into the new customer's account. Click the PBX menu tab on the top right. The first thing you should do with a new account is add a phone number with E911 service. Check the DID numbers link. Enter a phone number that's been assigned to you by your service provider and that has 911 service already established. Then click Add. The description is a friendly name for the phone number. The DNS name and number fields can be used to replace the actual caller ID name and number on inbound calls. The prepend caller ID field is used to insert characters in front of the caller ID name. You should always make sure that you have at least one phone number per location that supports E911 services. If the phone number has been registered and can be used as caller ID for E911 calls, click the checkbox next to "This number has E911 enabled with PSAP." Please talk to your service provider to find out what you need to do to ensure your phone number is E911 ready. We will come back later to set up routes. For now, click Save. Then click the back arrow to return to the main PBX menu. To build extensions, click on the Extensions link and then the plus sign to add an extension. Select an extension number. Enter the first and last name of the end user. Enter the end user's email address. The email address is also where voicemails will be delivered. Create a username and password for the account. The password is temporary. The end user will be required to change it when they log in the first time. Enter the caller ID name for this extension. Select caller ID number for this extension from the drop-down list. Select the caller ID that should be used if this extension dials 911 from the E911 number drop-down list. If the end user is going to have voicemail, check the Has Voicemail button and enter a voicemail PIN number for the end user. When you're finished, click Submit. We're going to create another extension, so click the plus sign again to add a second extension and follow the same process. Next, we're going to create a call group, then add the two extensions that we just created to that call group. From the main PBX menu, select the call group link, then the plus sign to add a new call group. Enter a friendly name for the description. We will call it All Calls. The caller ID prepend field allows you to insert digits in front of the caller ID name for any calls routed to this call group. We will use a ring all strategy. The exit route is where we want the call to go in the event there are no phones available to take the call, or if the ring time has exceeded the ring time allowed for this call group. In this case, we will just hang up on the call. When you're finished with the group, select the Add button. Then click on the call group's Edit icon. To add members to the group, click on Members at the bottom of the screen. Select the extensions you want to add to the group, then click Save. The last thing to do is to go back to the phone number that we created and point it to the call group. To do that, return to the main menu and select the DID numbers link, and then click the phone number's Edit icon. Go to the Route option and change the setting to Call Group. Then select the call group we created earlier, All Calls. That's it. We now have a system completed with its first account. The account has a phone number that will forward to a call group, and the call group will ring the 2 extensions that we created. I hope you found this presentation helpful.